Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. It is the autumnal equinox. I'm very excited about this, as I always am. And in honor of that, we are going to do integration readings. Why? Because of Persephone. Because we love Persephone. So this is going to be because Persephone is not only the formidable queen of the underworld, but is also the goddess of the vegetation that comes forth in spring. So you too can be both. So what I've done here is I've laid out two cards, one from the Robin Wood Tarot and one from the Phantomwise Tarot. And the Robin Wood Tarot is going to represent your bringing forth the green vegetation side, and the Phantomwise Tarot is going to represent your goddess of the underworld side. And what I'm going to do is you're going to pick a card pile, and then I'm going to reveal them, and then I'm going to build between them your steps to integration with the Black Tourmaline runes. So that's exciting. And it will be able to go both directions. Like if you start to feel yourself leaning one way, you can follow the path to the other way. And if you start to feel yourself leaning towards the other way, then you can follow the path to the other way. It's going to be very cool. So feel into the card piles. One of these card piles has a reading for you about how to integrate these two very different seeming aspects of yourself. So will it be pile number 1, which is almost hidden, pile number 2, pile number 3, or pile number 4? And I will put the timestamps in the description, and I will see you at the readings. Bye! Hello, pile number 1 people. So, equinox reading, let us go and see what these have to do with you. So here's the card that we were going to have to represent your bringer forth of vegetation in spring. And this is the card we have that we're going to represent your goddess of the underworld side. So let's turn them and have a look at what we've got. I'm going to turn this because we're not doing reversals today. Do we ever? Not that I know of, but it's not outside the realm of possibility. Okay, so these are the aspects that you want to integrate into who you are and your totality. So we have the farmer. He's outstanding in his field. Every time this card, that joke. So here he is. He's got lots of exactly what we were just talking about. He's got a lot that's going on. He's got a lot in the sun that is just bringing forth this good, helpful, practical, nourishing stuff that is going to be good in the world and is going to make things abundant for him or whoever this wants to be. So this farmer. And so there he is. He's happy. He's got all that going on. So this aspect of you is just the part that is very much in the sun and just bringing forth the practical, grounded, down to earth. Like this is the stuff that's actually practical. It's good. It's helpful. It's abundant. It's nourishing. It's helping people, and it's possibly even bringing in money, that kind of thing. However, there is also an aspect of you that is related to mysteries, and we have the moon card. So it's mysteriousness and dreams and that side of things, which is very much in the moon light and that kind of thing, which you would think would be very different. But we're going to show you right now how to integrate those things, because they are absolutely integratable, because they both happen within you, and you're integrated as a being. So let's get some runes down from the Black Tourmaline set and see what they have to add. Very nice. In fact, what this is saying to me is that your dreams are already helping you integrate this, which is really cool. Okay. Ooh, that is blank. Okay, so the way that they are integrating, like as a whole, is your dreams are going to help with that. So we have Laguz reversed. Laguz is the rune of the lake or the water. Let me just turn this so that it's straight. So the Laguz is the lake or the water. It's the flow. It's all the watery stuff. So emotion, intuition, and heart, all of that kind of thing. Reversed, I tend to read this as, among other things, dream. And it's also it's not, I'm not going to read the where the flow stops element of it because we're integrating. So it's sort of like, I guess we can say we're at eddies. We're at eddies where both are combining, or both flows are combining. But I am going to say that internally and in your, if you don't remember your dreams, then it would be in your mythic world, you know, the symbols that you pick up throughout the day. This is where it is already getting integrated. Like you've already got a mythic layer of this, and you're already using some of this in a practical way because you are already integrating this in the middle. What will always help you is allow for the communication. So we have Ansus, which is the rune of communication and manifestation, also manifestation, but allow for that because that's what's going to really help. Like let them inform each other, and that's how they will continue to integrate within you. So again, like communication. So you're going to let them inform each other. Maybe you're going to make some decisions in your sunlit world based on your intuitions from your moonlit world. Or maybe there will be some ways that the sunlit world can assist in your moonlit world as well. So that's exciting. So that's the sort of communication that is going to help you with this integration. And again, this is all going on internally in your subconscious already. So this is already integrated there, not to worry about that. And then also in your dreams, you're going to get that integration happening. What isn't going to help you is you're going to be a bit worried about what other people think about the way that you integrate these, like the way that, like, and maybe you're worried about what these people will think about this part of you. The people who know you at this point, if they only knew and be worried about that. Or maybe when you're in your deepest mysterious mode, you'll be like cringing a bit to remember that you have a very, very practical day job. So but try not to worry about that because this is just basically, it's manas, which is the rune of humanity, and your part in it. It's a very positive rune in the negative spot. And when you see that usually has to do with fears about that thing. So it's just really worried about how can I fit in with the rest of humanity from either side. Like, how can I fit in here if I've got this? And how can I fit in here if I've got that? But it's already done. You're already doing that, and you're already benefiting on both sides. So going in this direction, integrating your sunlit, bringing forth greenery world with your mysterious moonlit world, the first thing that's going to help you with that is Pertho reverse. So Pertho is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. It has to do with surprises that were always there because it was in the box already. So reversed on the path line, I read this as internal, like things about yourself that you've discovered, a revelation about something about yourself that maybe you didn't realize before, but once you've integrated that, things start to get better. So you are in your sunlit world with your vegetation, and then you suddenly realize something about yourself that was always there. This helps with that subconscious mixing and subconscious integration, which leads you to a whole new open ground. This is the blank rune, which is basically new ground where you're sharing attributes and the integration is happening, which leads you to, you're open to it. So it leads you to this moonlit world. Now going in the other direction, if you are sort of focused in the mysterious moonlit world, allow yourself to be open to what comes, because this is what's going to start to integrate things. And then when you get here to this stage, you're going to realize you have an aspect of self that will help you that you maybe didn't know was there, but is going to help you with this part of things. So either way, both of these are going to be very integratable. This is practically like the reading. This is practically the point of the whole reading was, sunlit world and vegetation and moonlit world and all that moonlit kind of mysterious stuff happening. So that is your reading, card pile number 1, people, for the integration readings on behalf of the equinox, which I said autumnal in the opening. It could be the vernal equinox for you, depending on where you are watching from in the world. Either way, integration is good. So, so good luck with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening and a happy equinox. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card pile number 2, people. So we are going to start by separating these and talking about how these represent those two aspects of yourself. As with Persephone, we have, well, lots of diverse aspects. I'm really making them very simple in this case, where it's not like what we actually have are lots of aspects that we're integrating at all times. But in honor of Persephone, we are going to end the equinox. We're going to go, this is the side of you that is going to be the side of you that brings forth vegetation and is, very fertile and in the sun. And this is the side of you that is mysterious and a formidable queen of the underworld. So all that stuff. So let's turn this and see what we've got. This one's upside down. We're not doing reversals today. Okay, so this is neat because when you integrate this is going to help you a lot. Like a lot. I'm glad that we're talking about this because this is going to help you like heaps. So in the day, you have a lot that you want to be doing. There's a lot that you want to be doing, but you're always feeling very anxious, it seems. Like the aspect of yourself that is out there, that you want to be very open to things, but you don't know what you don't know, and you can't really see it, and you feel like you're under threat. So this may be a read on the Persephone myth where the whole thing about her being abducted, which, from my experience, yes, it's part of the myth, but I don't. She's coming home today in the Northern Hemisphere. Like I love this. So she's like such a formidable queen. So, but anyway, as far as this goes, just basically, you feel like you're out in the world, but you feel exposed. You can't see what's coming. There may be feelings like there's good, like you can feel like the rays of the sun and the beautiful sound of the water, but you feel like there's threats everywhere you turn. So what your deeper underworld formidable queen part of you is represented by the Chariot, which is a triumph of will under difficult circumstances. So you are actually able to, this is sort of like allowing, not even allowing, you don't want to allow it, but you're just worried about it. And you feel like your hands are tied, like literally in the picture, this person's hands are tied. But in reality, you have an aspect of self who is more than willing to take the reins on this and is more than willing to make things go the way that, to the best of your ability to make things go the way that you will them to. And maybe that's a bit scary for you because you maybe feel like there's an innocence here that you don't want to break. However, why not? Because you are both, and Persephone is both. So she can be, in the field, picking flowers, but also, and nurturing things, but also taking those reins and, deciding where we're going to go with that. So how do we integrate these? Let's get some Black Tourmaline runes down. Black Tourmaline, a very protective stone. Highly recommended if you feel like you need protection in your day-to-day life. Just having that in your auric field. I cannot believe I just said auric field, but having that in your auric field really makes a difference. It's good stuff, man. Oh, this goes like that. Okay. So, centrally we have Sovilo. Sovilo is the sun. This is your source energy. And what this is saying is that when you integrate both of these, you will have access to your source energy. Your source energy is anything that whenever you access it and whenever you do it and whenever you turn to it, always energizes you, always makes you feel renewed and recharged. And so once you have integrated both of these, because maybe this side of you does need to take a little bit more care and to let fear have a say from time to time, not to be ruled by it, but to maybe get you to not be so severe with the reins when you get them. So that's, they are going to inform each other. But when they do, this integration is going to be really, really good for you. It's going to give you lots of energy and lots of connection. You're going to feel very connected to source. So what is going to help you at all times is we have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest. It's also the rune of time. But basically what it's saying is that once these are coming together, just the fact that you're going to be seeing results is going to be helpful. Like this is basically the harvest. So when these are integrated and when these are working together, you're going to see the fruits of your labors. You're going to see the results of this relationship and this interaction and this integration. And that's going to be fantastic, and it's going to nourish you, and it's going to make you feel abundant and good. So that's what's going to help you anytime that you worry about it. Just remember, it's like, no, the reason I'm doing this is because it makes things happen. It makes things work. What isn't going to help you is worrying about those surprises. We have Persephone, which is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises and fate. It's in the negative line. It's not necessarily a negative rune. None of them are, but I'm going to read this as like worries about things that might catch you off guard, might worry you. Because, if you've got your hands full already, you don't want something to catch you off guard. And if you are worried about what you can't see, you don't want something catching you off guard either. So worrying about that could drag you down and make you not appreciate the integration. But once it's integrated, just look at what you're getting done. Now that you're letting yourself take the reins, but also have appropriate caution, and you're going to see the results, and it's going to be really, really, really good. Now, going from this direction to this direction, going from the spring to autumn direction, we have starting out, when we start out from there, we have Ivaz. Ivaz is the rune of the yew tree. This has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development. It also has an aspect of going between worlds. So it's almost like you have to slip into a whole other mindset as you move in this direction. You have to allow yourself to feel both of those worlds and both of those aspects of yourself, both the one who wants to remain innocent and just take in the beauty of things, but also the one of you who just wants to basically take the reins and take control and drive where you want to go. So it's going to be a back and forth sort of thing with that, where you're going to be fading into that, where they're going to be like this, both. But yeah, taking it step by step. It's almost like this is the walk to the underworld. So you're taking the step by step walk, patience, slow growth, slow development, step by step. And you meet in the middle here, where it's integration and you're accessing your connection to source energy, which is really, really good. And by the time you get here, you'll be ready to open out to it. We have the torch, which is also the fire, but it's something that starts like an ember and small like an ember and goes into a blaze. And that's how you're going to get there, where you're going to be just like opening out to this. It's like you're going to be allowing this here and be like, yes, I have this now. You're able to be there. Going from the other direction, from the autumn to spring direction, we have our starting out point is Kaunaz, which is opening up, but also in that we're going this direction. It's almost like we're going to read this a little bit backwards, where you're going to be honing focus. Because here you're like, you got all the reins and you're ready to take it wherever you want to. But there's also an element of care that you're going to be obtaining as you go this direction. So there is going to be a sort of a narrowing of, okay, but I shouldn't just rapidly drive everywhere. And then this is going to let you integrate a little bit. It's like, okay, I should take a little bit more care. And then it's going to be a step by step, where you're going to be feeling out the other side of it. You're going to be feeling out the other aspect of it, where it's like, okay, but what if I do this? Is this okay? What if I try this? And by then you'll get to this point where, well, it's not the most desirable place, but it's in that you are allowing for the things around you without trying to control any of them. And at the same time, just trying to take in the sunbeams and this lovely sound of the sea and the sand on your feet. There is that positive aspect to this. But both integrated is best. Definitely both integrated is best. So that, pile number 2, people, is your reading, your integration reading in honor of Persephone on this equinox day. So I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Happy equinox. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, pile number 3, people. So let's start by taking these cards. Each of these cards represents an aspect of yourself that we're going to be integrating, a la Persephone. So, a la peanut butter sandwiches. No. Okay. Okay, so the one on the left is going to be the card that represents your aspect of self that is your spring aspect. So it's the part of you that is bringing forth vegetation into the world. Hooray. And the other part of you is the autumn aspect, where it's the queen of the underworld part. So let's turn these and see what we're dealing with. This is upside down again, but I love this card so much. Anyway, so your spring part is very vibrant, but feels like it has to defend itself a lot. So again, we might be seeing an aspect of the Persephone myth being represented here, where we've got the abduction thing, where you feel like you have to stave off those who might have differing opinions or differing will. You may be feeling like you're from a Persephone standpoint, as far as her power, you are feeling like you need to defend yourself. You're feeling defensive, but you're able to stand your ground because, oh my gosh, forgive me for citing this, but you have the high ground. Okay, anyway, here you are. You have the high ground. And you're wearing like a big kilt, so you're like Highland as well. But anyway, so you're very strong in that. Look at this. Like, this is like really card pile number 3 people. You are very strong, decisive people. So I'm just going to say that. So your spring side is you are in the light and you're standing up and you're standing for what you believe in and you're standing for your will, and you are easily able to defend yourself from any of these and anything that might come at you with a differing will. So your underworld queen side is the judgment card. So hearing and heeding a call, and also just to take the card as instructive, there is a balancing happening here where you are living your truth. You're balancing your truth. You're living, because there is a sort of like, so the whole thing about Anubis and and the weighing of the heart against the feather and all of that stuff, and then it's basically, did you live your truth? If you were living not your truth, then the heart would be heavier than the feather, and you would have to we won't go into that because that's actually, let's just go from here. We have the judgment card, where you are very much aware of living your truth and very much aware of, the balance of things. And maybe this side of you is going to be a lot more forgiving than this side of you, where you're like, it's my way that we're going to take. But this is why we're integrating, because this needs a little bit of that. But this also can definitely help for this, where you're like, maybe your heart isn't heavy enough. Like, maybe you should be a little bit more forceful so you can be living a little bit more of your truth, because balance is either way. You definitely want to you don't want to have a heart that's heavier than the feather, but you also don't want the feather to be a lot heavier. You know what? I'm mixing so many mythologies here. I'm expecting the mythology police at my door any second. So let me just move on from there and see how we can integrate these diverse aspects of yourself. Okay, Persephone, guide me. Well, that's lovely. That's a lovely central moment of integration. I'm liking that a lot. So there's really agreement happening here. There's really an exchange happening here. Okay, so your central integration point is Gebo. Gebo is the rune of the gift. A gift was always an exchange. It's basically, you never gave without getting, and you never got without giving. It also has to do with agreements, decisions, plans, and goals. And it can have to do with the one-on-one integration, like one-on-one relationship, which in this case is going to be the relationship between these two aspects of self that are integrating. So there is going to be give and take between both of them. There may also be, I've been avoiding saying this, but there may also be a judgmental element of this, where your underworld side may feel more ready to sort of pass judgment on various things. But this side is just basically, I think both sides are just like very strong-willed is basically what we're looking at here. We've got the very strong will here, and we've got the very strong will as far as discernment goes. I'm not calling anybody judgmental. Heaven knows I would be the last person to call anybody judgmental given my track record. So, so anyway, but basically like very strong discernment and very strong will. And these are going to integrate. And when they integrate in the middle, we have, okay, this is where they're going to inform each other. This is where there's going to be an exchange happening where your will is informed by your strong discernment, and your strong discernment is strengthened by your will. So you know how to balance that. What is going to help you? What is going to help you is to keep your focus open, because you know from your strong discernment that you need to see as many sides of things as possible. And from this fellow's high ground, he can see lots of different opinions. He can see lots of different wills coming at him. And he knows he needs to defend against some of them more strongly than others. Like some of them are not as needing of rebuke. So just to keep your mind open and keep your eyes open and keep connected to your version of the divine, and this will help you with that. What will not help is sometimes you feel too impatient to do that. I see this side of it has a lot more patience than this side of it. However, sometimes you can get very impatient, and sometimes each side can get impatient with the other. Like if you haven't figured things out yet, this side can get impatient with this side. And if you're not giving the time and this just like the thought to work out the proper discernment, and you're just like fighting against anybody who comes, perpendicular to you, you're going to be making this one unpatient, English major. So there needs to be an openness to allow to view all the sides of things. So now going from this direction to this direction, from the spring direction to the autumn direction, the first thing we encounter is Sovila, which is the sun, the source energy. So you're dealing with all of this. You need to reconnect with energy. And this is part of the quest for integration here. So you're connecting with this source energy. This is whatever it is that you could do all day. It always gives you energy. It always energizes you. You meet in the middle with the exchange. And then as you move over here, you start to connect with your deep inner joy. I am also going to read this as you're going to connect with what is actually making you discontent, but mostly I'm going to also read this as connecting with your deep inner joy. And then you will meet this side of you, your underworld side. Going from the autumn to the spring direction, you're starting with the strong discernment, and then you're moving out to where you're facing things in the light. You are sort of carrying with you what you know keeps you happy from deep within, but also you will become aware of this. These are my grievances. You're going to meet in the middle. You're going to make your agreements, decisions, goals, and plans. And then you're going to have your full energy when you come out of this passageway into facing other wills that might be different from yours. But hopefully you're going to be bringing with you some sense of the discernment going on with your underworld side. Ideally, though, you are meeting these constantly in the middle, and you're having a constant exchange between them, where you are able to make your agreements, decisions, plans, and goals based on mutual exchange of both of these sides. So giving both sides your full strength and taking the full strength for both sides at once. So that card pile number 3, people, is your integration reading in honor of Persephone on this equinox day. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, card pile number 4, people. So we're going to start with separating these. This is the card that's going to represent your spring aspect of Persephone, which is the bringer forth of vegetation and, the bringing forth of the new life kind of thing. And sorry, I'm just trying to make this even. And then this is the side that is going to represent your underworld queen side, the part of you that is the formidable queen of the underworld and all that entails. So let's turn these and see what we're working with. And again, this one's upside down and this one. Okay. I start with these and I don't think any of them are going to have reversals, and then they end up having reversals. And I'm not reading reversals in these. So, okay, on we go. You're doing really well with the spring side. When you have the spring side, everything seems to be aligned. Your in the sun aspect is just very aligned and celebrated, and you do very well in the sun as far as that goes. And in terms of the sun, what I mean is, in public, in the light, when things are fair, and on you go, and you're on your shining horse, and off we go. So that is your aspect. That is the one side of the aspect of, that's your aspect that is the spring aspect of that. The side that you need to integrate is going to make you whole, because your underworld side is your awareness of everything else. It's your connection with the rest of the world. And maybe you only intuit this, and maybe this is something that you are feeling the vibrations of it, even if you're not seeing it. Maybe you're so much in the light so much of the time that your awareness of this dims, like fades in the day, but this is very much there. And when you turn to it, it can feel like it's almost overwhelming you, and you may feel very small, like the little bunny, in the midst of everything. So how do we integrate these? Let's get some Black Tourmaline runes out and get a path of integration happening. Yes, because they do support each other. That's very good. Ooh, neat. I almost turned that. My tinsel's falling apart. Okay, nice. Nice. So the point at which these meet in the middle and where they integrate is Algiz, which is the rune of protection and support, is the elk, otherwise known as the moose. So where these integrate is where they support each other, because you are happy in your parade and everything is on your side and aligned with you, and it's very, very good. But I don't think this would feel as good if you weren't also very aware of and connected with the world and the rest of the world, and just appreciating this for what it is while all this is going on. At the same time, when you are feeling, integrated obviously as a part of the world and as part of the universe, but also as just a small part of that, it's nice to know that you can also feel celebrated and aligned with and have people who agree with you. So these do support each other. These are not very, very exclusive things. And they do, when they meet in the middle, they do give you support and some protection as far as just awareness goes. What is going to help you is to keep that openness happening. Like, keep that awareness of both from wherever you are on this path. Keeping that awareness of both sides of this is definitely going to help you keep that integration happening, because it gives each one of them gives something to the other one that helps its meaning and helps its importance to you. What isn't going to help is don't stop. Like, don't stop your journey forward because of either of these. Like, don't just sit on your laurels and don't just think I am nothing, because you're neither of those things. Like, you're absolutely essential, and also you are, one of many, but you're also, yes, you're celebrated, and you're also part of the whole. So don't stop doing this. Like, don't stop being open to both. We have Raido, which is the rune of riding. It's the life's journey. It's reversed on the lower line. So maybe you're worried about your life's journey. Like, maybe you're questioning it as well, and that might not help you as well. So if you're questioning, especially like if you're questioning this while you're immersed in this, it's like, don't discount this, appreciate this, enjoy this, and don't discount this, just appreciate it and savor this as well, because these are both going to be very good. So don't stop that. Keep that something that's interconnected. Keep things very clear between them so that you can keep them supporting you. Now, the pathway from the spring side to the autumn side starts with Avaz, which is the horse. This is really neat because we've got both the horsies. We've got the horse for the horse for movement and spirit, and we also have the riding rune at the bottom, which is what you're going to worry about. We're going to try not to worry about that. We're just taking the path right now. So it starts with the horse, letting spirit carry you. You're letting your spirit carry you towards this side of it. It's movement also. So just you're moving forward to this. Where you meet in the middle, this is where you're supporting each other. This is where the balance is best, in the middle. As you move further over to this side, your last stop is Isa, which is the rune of ice. This has to do with standstill, but also the stillness through which clarity comes. So the more you get here, then the more this is going to tune in. It's like radio at night. Does anybody do that anymore? Because I don't know how modernly we have advanced to the point where does anybody sit up at night with a radio and listen to things you can't hear during the day? Anyway, we're talking about runes and cards. But the closer you get to this side of it, the clearer that signal is going to come through of, wow, everything. And it's beautiful. And you are listening to it from your particular center. And whether that makes you feel tiny or tiny and integrated, tiny and essential, that depends, I think, on the frequency. However, it's going to be, when you're here, you're just like feeling all of it. Coming from the autumn side to the spring side, you're going to start from this place of, I am everything, basically. You're connected to everything and you are feeling everything. You're going to be taking a moment as you step out of that where you're still holding to that stillness. But once you meet this, it's like coming closer and closer to where there's like a parade going on and you can start to hear it and you can start to hear the voices. So there is a certain, and you know that this is for you. So there's a certain element of, I feel connected with everything, but I also can be celebrated. And you feel very supported here in the middle, in the center part where it's balanced. As you move further towards this, you're going to feel the speed pick up. You're going to feel your momentum pick up. You're going to feel like your spirit is starting to shine and carry you, and until you're in this place where you feel joyous because you are being celebrated and agreed with and in alignment and in the sun, basically, in your source energy. So that is your integration reading card pile number 4, people. I wish you all the best with this, and I wish you a lovely day or evening and a happy equinox. Take care till next time. Bye.